Hello, friends. Welcome back to Mudstack. Friends, I'm planning to have multiple sessions on CI/CD pipeline. So, if you take the tools from the integration domain, right? So, we have multiple tools like where we can implement our CI/CD pipeline to help our developers, help our operation teams. So, if I name some tools from the integration domain, are like GitHub, the GitHub Action, GitHub with Jenkins, Azure Pipeline. It gives entire stuff over there. We can use that as a code repository. We can use that as a CI/CD tool. We can use a GitLabs where everything is there. So I'll try to come up with the as much as sessions possible with all these tools. So today's my session motto is to have a GitHub plus Jenkins. Okay, so we are going to implement CI/CD pipeline using GitHub and Jenkins. So we'll see what exactly CI/CD pipeline or practice means and where it fits in our API lifecycle and how we can automate with the help of CI/CD. Okay, what part of our API lifecycle we can automate it. Okay, so let's start with the discussion. Okay, so when we say CI/CD, what is CI, what is CD, and there is slight difference in CI, CD part itself. Okay, so let's discuss about that. So let's start with the life cycle. The first stage we in our API life cycle is to write the API specification. So that API specification you can write it in the design center as well as we can write it in the studio itself. Okay. Then we once we are okay and we think if it is according to the requirement, then we start the collaboration. We publish it to the exchange and we ask for the feedback on that particular API specification. Okay. So here we collaborate our client, we engage our other developers who are planning to use or planning to consume this particular API. Okay. If your code API specification is already there in your studio, then you know you start implementing it. Right. So this is the second stage. This is the implementation stage where developer comes to the picture. Then once your development or implementation is according to the requirement, okay, then you source control that code to the code repository. Here you can have you know different kinds of code repository, like you have GitHub, you have Azure pipeline, you have GitLab, you have Team Foundation server, and there are multiple available. So based on your client's license, you can go ahead with that tool. Okay. Now, then once your code is checking the source control, source control to the code repository, then the testing part come to picture. Okay, so somebody will be watching your code repository, and then it downloads that code. It it start testing it, automation. Okay, then it start building it. It will build the deployment archive for your deployment. So this automating your testing, automating your build part, okay, and then automating your deployment part. This is where your CI/CD comes into picture. Okay, so CI is like automating your testing. More focus is on the testing and building, and then deployment is taken care by CD part. So in later part of the sessions we are going to discuss in detail. Okay, so so this part will be your CI/CD part. Okay. Now, once you build the code, it will go to the artifact repository. So this is again an important part of your API lifecycle, which help you to in the rollback strategy. So let's say you deployed something to your production, and now that is breaking your code over there. So you need to have rollback. So what is your rollback strategy? Go back to the previous successful version that will be available in your artifact repository. So this can be your exchange or some external artifact repository. Okay. So this is your code repository where your code is lying. This is your deployment archive. Okay. Once you check in that code, you can go ahead with the deployment to non-product environment, and then you can go ahead to the production environment. So here, as I said, right, there is a slight change in CD. So if we have approval check over there, then we call it a delivery. And if check is not there, if you are trusting your developer, you are trusting your testers, and then you can directly deploy to your environments. Generally, we go with the non-prod, non with the we never go to the production without approval. Okay. So if you're talking about continuous deployment, so that's where you don't have any approval check. Okay. And if you have approval check, we call it continuous delivery. That's a slight change over there. Okay. Now, this pipeline can be as complex as possible. So you can add notification over here. So once your testing is done, you can notify your developers that the code has been tested successfully. After build, you can have the notifications that your build is successful or failed based on that, right? After, so once this build is, done, you can really you can trigger the approval process. That is a one more check. When you are testing your code, you can have integration to the external tool called SonarQube that will check the coverage report and all that. Then only it will release for the deployment. So all those things, this CI/CD pipeline, right, can be as complex as possible. Okay. So we are not going to see all those things. We are going to see very simple CI/CD pipeline with the help of GitHub and Jenkins. Okay. Now, so this is definition of that delivery and deployment change, right? So if you have here check, then we call it delivery. If you don't have check, if you're trusting your developer and testers, then it's called the continuous deployment. Okay. So this is what we are going to see. So we are going to implement this GitHub, pipeline using GitHub and Jenkins. So I have actually split it into three parts. The first part is your GitHub setup. Second part is Jenkins setup, and then I'll do a MuleSoft setup. Okay. So here we'll be using in third part, we'll be using Mule Maven plugin, which we are going to add some code to our form.xml that will automate our deployment. Okay. So this guy is responsible for code repository. This guy is your build tool, and this guy will take care of deploying, automating that deployment. Okay. So let's go ahead. First, we need the Anypoint platform. Definitely, without this, we won't be having any deployment possible. So our today's intention is to go to the deployment, go to the Cloud Hub. So we need the Anypoint platform credentials, and then which environment you wanted to deploy. Okay, so you need to select that environment, and then we need a Mule Maven plugin. That's the utility which automates your deployment. Okay, so we'll be using Mule Maven plugin, and that code will be adding to a form.xml. Then we need a Maven, so you can go to this link. Definitely, I'll show you all those links which is required for this particular session or demo. So once you get the Maven, you'll get a zip file. You can install that, and then you can run the command and see that whether your Maven is properly installed or not. Okay, so you can run this command and you'll be able to see the proper Maven version. Okay, so when we are using Maven, right? So from that Maven, there are three built-in life cycles. So yeah, I don't want to go to in detail, but definitely we are going to use default lifecycle and clean lifecycle. Okay, so clean will take care of removing the previous build artifacts or files, and default will take care of the project deployment. So the default life cycle, right? It has all these stages. Okay, so you can execute the specific stage, or you can go ahead and deploy the last stage, which will execute in internally all these stages. So if I use a Maven deploy, it will execute all these stages. If you want to use or stop on some specific stage, you can go ahead and run that. For example, Maven install, right? MVN install, it will stop over here. It won't. So it will just install your code in your local code repository. But generally, while deployment, we go with this the last command, Maven clean, package deploy, and the switch called Mule deploy. So this command we are going to use in our demo also. Now, as I said, we are going to use MMP, which is your Mule Maven plugin, and this plugin will be automating our project deployment. So you can deploy to the Cloud Hub, so which is this configuration you need to do on in our form.xml. If you're going to deploy to the on-premises, this is the configuration we need to do. in our pom.xml. And if you're going for RTF, which is our runtime fabric, then we need to go with this configuration. Okay, we are going to talk about the GitHub. So we'll do setup for GitHub also. So you need to go to github.com and create free GitHub account. And then we need to install Git client on our system. So we can go with the command line also. And nowadays we are getting Git embedded in our Anypoint Studio itself. So for today demo, I'll be using Anypoint Studio directly to source control our code in a GitHub repository. Then with the help of Jenkins, this is what our build tool. So you can go ahead and download it from here, from this link, and then you'll get a zip file. You need to install the this Jenkins properly with the help of exe file. So I'll show you the steps for installation also. Once our Jenkins is ready, we'll get a URL, that is our local host and port. So default port generally will get it 8080, and in my case also it's 8080. Based on your installation, you can use the port number over here. Once your Jenkins is ready and you're able to see your console, then we need to configure JDK and we need to configure the Maven. So I would recommend go with the OpenJDK. You don't need to create any account for that. I'll show you the link from where you can get the OpenJDK. Then once you configure these two things, so I'll show you where you can configure. So go to the dashboard, manage Jenkins, and global tools configuration. Here we'll be configuring our JDK and Maven. Then second step, if you need any plugins, right, you can go ahead and install those plugins. But generally, Jenkins will install all the required plugins. But if you don't, if anything is missing, you can go ahead here in the manage plugin section and install it. Okay. Then you can create the freestyle project, and that freestyle project is nothing but your pipeline job. There you can configure your code repository URL, and then you can give the trigger, how frequently you want to trigger this job. Then we'll give the command, Maven command, because the build tool doesn't have any rocket science, right? It won't do any magic. It internally uses the Maven only. Just like from our laptop, we can deploy the code. Build tool is doing that same thing. So we need to give the proper command, which command these guys are supposed to use. So right now here in the build section, we are using invoke top level Maven targets. We can use the Windows command also here. So I'll show you that section also. Once your deployment is or build is done, we can notify, as I said, right, your pipeline can be as complex as possible. You can have stages over here. You can have test stage, you can have build stage, you can have deployment stage. So based on the result of the previous stage, you can trigger the next stage. Okay, so if test is failed, you don't need to trigger the build. If build is failed, you don't need to trigger the deployment. Okay, so that's all from this setup part. So let's jump onto the demo. So first I'll show you my GitHub account. So let me go ahead to my GitHub account first. So this is my GitHub account. I'll just take you through. So I'll show you first. The first part of demo is, let me sign out. So first you need to log in here. Okay, GitHub, go to github.com, create a free trial account, and then log in. So I log in with my credentials. Okay, then second step, create a repository. Go ahead here and say new repository. Create new repository. I'll say CI/CD-demo, and then create a public repository. You don't need to add any files over here right now. Let's say create repository. Very simple step. Now, so you'll get an empty repository. Now, you need to do one more thing here. So once your code is ready, you can check in over here. But for that we need username and personal access token. Now Anypoint Studio won't support, or GitHub won't support username and password. Okay, so it needs the access token. So let me show you the steps. You go to your settings. Okay, go to your developer settings. and here go to personal access token. So I have already created, I don't want to show that, but you can go ahead here and generate access token, generate new access token, and you can select the admin public key, admin repo hook, and delete packages repo. You can select all the options over there. You'll get the access token. Okay, and get that access token, get the username, get the GitHub URL. So that's what I did in my notepad. So first part is this. Okay, let me tell you. First part, we are ready. So let me go to my Anypoint Studio. So I have created simple project, and it just printed the hello. So let me show you. So hope it is running. Yes, it's deployed and running. Let me show you what it does. And this is the same project we are going to deploy to our. Yeah, it prints the hello world. Okay. So let's go ahead and check in this code to my GitHub repository. So right click on your project, go to the option called team here. So initially you'll get only two options here, apply patch and share project. So let's go ahead and click on share project. Okay. Use this option, use or create repository. So what we are doing right now, we are creating a repository locally. Okay. So let's go ahead, select it and create a repository locally on our system, on our laptop. Finish. So now you see here, you'll see a cylinder icon over here. That means your local or remote local repository is ready now. So you can see question marks here. So wherever files are there, those are not added to your local repository right now. So let's go ahead and add those files to your local repository, commit it, and then we'll push it to the actual repository or remote repository, which is there in the GitHub. So let's go ahead again to the team option. Now you will see a lot of options now. You can see pull request, you can see merge request, you can see create patch, and all those things. Okay, so we'll go ahead and select commit option. So these many files are there, which supposed to be there in your, or supposed to be checked in or source control to your remote repository. So to send these files to remote repository, first we need to add it to a local repository. So add it to the stage section, and we'll say simple initial commit message, and we'll say commit and push. Okay, now it will ask you, give me a URI where you want to push this code. Okay, so I have already copied. Let me copy this link, go back to the Anypoint Studio, give it here. So it will automatically pick here the host, the repository path, your username, and let me check whether this access token is working. Let's go ahead. If it is not working, then we'll change that. Let me see if it works. That's fine. I think it's not working. So let me copy username, and instead of password, you need to use your access token, which is just now we have created. Okay. Yes. Okay. Then you say push. Again. Okay. Fine. Control C. Control C. Control. Okay. So your code is now from master branch to master branch. It's published or checked into your remote repository. Let's go ahead and check it. Okay. Let me go ahead. Let me go back to so this is the repository I have created, and you can see here now the code is available. Okay. So first part one is finished. Now we are going to create the part two, which is our Jenkins. Okay. So before that, let me show you all the required links which are useful. So this one is the GitHub. Then second one, we'll get the Git client from this link. So I'll add all these links in the description below, all the required links. Then we can download Jenkins from this link. Okay, go ahead and download for your Windows or for your based on your system, you can go ahead and download it. Now, once you download it, here in this link, all these steps are given. What is prerequisite, required, and all these steps. Okay, so you go ahead and you can download and install this Jenkins on your system. So it is like you need to start it as a Windows service. Now, post installation, you'll get a password. Okay, so this is first time password you'll get it. You'll get a URL. This is your console URL. Okay, so you'll get it, and then first time you use the initial password and you can change it later. Okay, yeah. Okay, generally when we install, right, this kind of error you'll get it. So please make sure that you have all the permissions, privileges to start your Jenkins as a Windows server. So make sure that you have. If you don't have, then these are the steps you need to set it the proper configuration. Okay, you need to go to local security policy and set it. Okay, once your Jenkins is ready, we can log into it. So this is my URL, right? That's what I have shown. So I already logged in first time. Now I've changed my URL, username and password. So you go ahead. Okay, I have created a lot of jobs, so I don't want to go there. You need to go to dashboard here, and first time you'll see the empty list over here. Okay, so first step in our configuration in part 2, go to manage Jenkins, and then go to the second option over here, global tool configuration. And here we'll be configuring our JDK and our Maven. So simply wherever you have installed your JDK, give that path till before bin folder. Okay. Then second is your Maven installation directory path. This is where I have my Maven installed. Let me show you quickly. So I have installed that in my D directory. I have Maven installed over here. Okay, so till here we need to give the path. Okay, so for OpenJDK, I gave that path also. So if you go here, I have installed, go to C directory, program files, and OpenJDK till here. You need to give this path. Okay, and then two more things we need to set this path in our environment variables also. Okay, so if we set it in the environment variables, then we can go ahead and test the configuration whether my Java is installed or not. So you can start your command line from here and test everything here. You can say Java hyphen version. It will show you clear what we have installed. I have installed OpenJDK. You can check your Maven is installed or not properly. So version, yeah, my Maven is also installed. If you want to go with the command line, right, to Git, you can select and check what. So everything is available now. Okay, all setup is ready. Let's go ahead and do the Jenkins part. So let me go back to the Jenkins. So this part is done. Again, you can go back to Jenkins. You need any plugins. If the plugins are missing, right, you can go to manage Jenkins section where you can, available, you can search for all those, plugins and install it. So I have installed all the required plugins here. You can see. So, by default, there will be so the important is GitHub. That is important. Okay. And if you want to send the notification, the email part is, let me search. Email extension is important. GitHub is important, from where we'll be, getting the code. Okay. I think that's all. Other than that, we don't need. Okay. Now our, our Jenkins also ready. Okay. So second part also done from, as part of our demo. Now let's go back the third part, which is our MuleSoft CI/CD setup. Now, as I said, To finish this part, our Jenkins has to be properly configured, our GitHub has to be properly configured. Now we'll jump onto the Anypoint Studio, where we need Maven, we need OpenJDK, and we need MMP. So let me show you what. So this part of code we are going to add to POM.xml. You don't need to mug up this. I'll show you where you can find this code. If you go, so Jenkins is done. You can download the studio from here. We can download our Maven from here. All these links I'll add over there. You can download the OpenJDK from here. We can see all those configurations. The Mule Maven plugin, we called it MMP. Okay, here. And based on your requirement, whether you want to deploy it to the Cloud Hub or deploy it to the RTF or deploy on premises, we can copy this code from here. Okay, and then command also given here, which command we're supposed to use for a respective deployment. So let's go ahead and configure our where is my studio? Yeah. So this guy is running. Let me stop this code. First, we'll go to our POM.xml. So code is checked in now. So whatever changes we'll be doing, we need to check in this code again. So let me show you the POM.xml. So we need to go to the plugin, Mule Maven plugin, and here we need to add the section called configurations. Let me copy that code. Configuration, this one. So I'll just first Control V. You'll get this. Okay. Now I have prepared this code for our demo. So we'll go to our Control V, and we can format this properly. Now instead of 4.3.0, I'll be using 4.4.0. That is our latest. Now you can see here we need this username password. This is our Anypoint platform username password. Then you need some unique application name which is going to be deployed in the Cloud Hub. So I'll give some unique name here. So I type my initial and I'll give today's date, which is 2012 2021. Okay, and which environment you want to deploy. So I'll say I want to deploy in dev environment. Okay, then worker, I want one worker type micro, which is your 0.1 vCore, and this we need to add it. It is not given in the link over here. You see that is missing over here. Moves are supposed to update this. Without that tag, you won't be able to deploy, because all Mule4 projects now need object store v2 has to be true. Okay, and then reason is us-is true for all the trial accounts. Will get this default reason. So that's all. That's what the setting we need. So we'll go ahead. We'll save this. Okay, and now we'll check in this code to our code repository. So let me show you first code repository. Now POM.xml right now doesn't have anything in the Mule Maven plugin. Okay, so let's go ahead and check these changes. Right click, you go to the teams again, and you can do this all these things via command line also. That's the reason you need the Git client, right? So you can find all those commands in the Git websites. Okay, so I'll say here I'll give a configured MMP. Okay, for Cloud Hub. Okay, let me commit and push. It will ask me username and password, so it is there in my. Let's see. Let's go ahead. Here, Control V, and Okay, close it. And now if you go back to our code, refresh it, you can see all the settings are published over here. Now we'll go and now do the similar kind of settings on our Jenkins. So our GitHub completely set up now. Now we'll go back to our Jenkins. Now, so all these things are, this part is done. Now let's go ahead and create a job now. Okay, so new item, click on new item and create freestyle project. So give a name. So I'll just give some name and I'll give, so today's date is our 2012 2021. Okay, select this and okay. Yeah, now first, so we need to say GitHub project. First give some description over here, which is optional, but CI/CD using GitHub and Jenkins. Okay. Select your source code management. So we have configured our Git repository link. Please go ahead and use that and paste it over. And then we need a credentials. So here I have already saved my credential. So you can go ahead and add your credentials here and start using it. Okay, so add it. So if your credential with these credentials or if your Jenkins is not able to access this repository, it will throw error. Let me show you, add something in. It will throw error. See here. Okay, so if it is not throwing error, that means this guy is able to access the repository properly with this credential. Now we are running this build on the master branch, so we don't need to change anything over here. Now here, as I said, poll, that is your trigger, how frequently you wanted to run this job. So my favorite, I'll go with the 5-star, which is every minute. Okay, so if you want to do every hour, you just replace first star with our H, capital H. Okay, now we don't need to do with the build environment. Now build. Okay, so here either you can use execute Windows batch command, okay, or we can use the invoke top level. So I'll go ahead and use this, which is my favorite, and I'll use Maven and command. Okay, so let me build the command first. So down, because I'll show you one more thing. So this will be your command, mvn clean package. If you want to use it, otherwise a deploy will take care of it. Deploy, then a switch called mule deploy. Now if you notice here, I have externalize my username and password because I don't want to put my username and password anywhere on the in the internet. Okay, so whenever I need, I'll add that. So how to add that? Okay, so again same thing, hyphen capital D and your platform username, control C, copy it here, control V, and you can give here. Okay, so I don't want to pass it here right away because I don't want to share my username and password. Okay, so same thing, I'll use this guy. I'll pause the video, I'll add these values and then we'll run the. So this is again your capital D at the end. Yeah. So I'll pause the video. I'll update these two values. I'll save this command over here. Let me show you where we can. I'll add that command over here in the goals section. Okay, but to make sure that without mvn you need to use. So till here, I'll be adding that command. Okay, so hope you got the idea. I don't want to share my credentials. That's the reason I'm pausing the video. And so after build configuration, we can build, we have the post build actions. Here you can publish Java talk, or you can notify the the developer team or developer team manager. So that post field, if you want to do that, you can pass it here. So I have not configured my email notification properly, so I'm not going to use this section. Okay. Okay, fine. So I'll take a little pause over here because it was visible. That's the reason I didn't show that here. So I have saved the job. Now we can directly trigger it, or after 1 minute it will trigger automatically. So I don't know to wait it. So we'll start build now. Okay. Then we'll make a simple change in our code, and we'll check in the code. This job will get automatically triggered. That also we are going to see. But right now I'm triggering manually. You can go to the job and see whether it's executing our code properly or not. You can see the console output over here. See here, if you see this kind of logs, if you run your command from your Maven command from your command line, you'll be able to see similar kind of logs. So it started deploying your artifact. You can see it's created application. It's starting your application, checking your application. Now let's go and see our Anypoint platform. So let me check. It started deploying. See. Now it will take some time. Let me pause the video, and once the deployment is done, we'll test this code. Just like we tested our Anypoint Studio. Okay, and then we'll make simple change in our code. We'll add one more property, and we'll check in that, and we'll see whether our job is getting triggered automatically or not. So I'm pausing over here. So friends, you can see our project is deployed successfully. Let me take the shared load balancer URL. Let me copy this link. Let me go back to my you can see that we are able to see the same output from our Cloud Hub also. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll make a simple change over here in my configuration. We'll check in the code. So now I don't have any properties here, right? So let me go ahead to I'll show you from where we can go down here, and you can have this properties tag. Control V, Control A, Control Shift F. Properties, I'll say this, let's say HTTP dot port, and I'll just pass 8081 HTTP dot port, and I'll add some more properties just to show you that our job is getting triggered. There. Okay. Now we'll check in this code, save it, go back. So if you go to my code right now, go to settings, there are no properties right now. Okay. Once our deployment is done, we'll be able to see those two properties here automatically. Now I'm not going to trigger that Jenkins jobs manually. So I'm just going to do this part. I'll go to my studio and checking this code to my repository. Commit. I'll just added new properties to commit and push. Go ahead, login, done, close. Let me check my repository now. Properties are not there, refresh it. Code is added, new code is added. Now let's go to our Jenkins. Where is my Jenkins job? Yeah, here. So right now only we'll wait for that. So automatically, within a minute, you will be able to see here job number 2. Yeah, you can see automatically job number 2 is coming. Yeah, started. Let's check. Go to console output. So now it will redeploy the code because I didn't change an application name, so it will redeploy it. Yeah, it started redeploying. And if you go to our Anypoint platform, we can see here, yeah, see field. Now if you see the properties, will be coming over here. Let me go back. It's updating now. You'll be able to see the properties settings section. Now see, these are the 2 properties we have added to our form.xml. So it proves that, whenever there is a check-in, your Jenkins job is actually monitoring your. So this is my Jenkins job. This guy is keep on monitoring every minute. It's monitoring your code repository, and if there are any new check-ins happen, it will trigger this job. It will build your project. It will run the test cases if there are any, and it will deploy it to your respective environment. So that's all from this session, guys. I'll try to come up with more session on the CI/CD pipeline. Hope you liked it. Please subscribe to the channel. Please share with your friends. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.